Just about to go out for a walk, and it got me thinking about my journey, and it got me thinking about walking. And I thought that I would just share this with you. I started my fitness journey walking, and it was the best thing ever. I started off kind of just trying to do fast paced walks as many times a week as I could. And during my first pregnancy, I had awful depression, and I would close the curtains and spend all day in bed. I didn't work. I was 19 years old, and I literally just slept all day and then ate chocolate, a lot of chocolate milk, chocolate biscuits. I was miserable, and I was excited for having a baby, but I was just so down and so sad and so flat. And I went to my doctor, and my doctor told me to exercise and eat fresh vegetables, and eat well. And at the time, I just took that as an insult, really, and also as ridiculous, because I felt that this guy had no idea really what I was going through, and it was heartbreaking. And I couldn't see how something as simple as eating well, or exercising could actually make the difference that I needed. And I also felt that he just didn't understand the fact that I could not do anything. I could not get out of bed. I could not actually function. And to tell me to go for a walk or to go and do some exercise was ridiculous, and was actually, it made it worse, because it made me feel like, what is wrong with me? I can't even do that. And I just didn't feel there was hope. And it was a really, really, really hard time. I ended up having to just battle through, and sleep most of my pregnancy. And honestly, it was really, really hard. I gained a lot of weight because I was just eating chocolate, and I was not doing anything, and I was not moving. And yeah, I remember also someone talking about Oprah Winfrey saying that you could and do a gratitude journal and write about all the things that you're grateful for, and that would make a difference. And again, I just thought, oh, that's nice, but that's not going to make a difference. I've got like depression. I'm seriously, I can't function. And I really felt that this information was all really cute, but it was absolutely not going to work. And I guess as my journey continued, I have started to find these things really did work. But look, I did start with walking. That was it. So after I had my bubba, I then said about no more chocolate. It was really bizarre, actually. I just didn't want to eat chocolate anymore, so the cravings were gone for chocolate. And I literally was determined to shed my body fat that I had gained in my pregnancy, and to get fit and to feel amazing again. I began by walking with the pram and going on walks most days. And what I discovered is that, yes, I was losing that I had gained in my pregnancy really quickly, but also really I found the most compelling was that I felt good and I felt better. And I really did. It did affect me mentally to do those walks, and I looked forward to them. And so I encourage you, if you're in a situation where you are feeling super, super low, and you're feeling maybe you can't get out of bed, and I'm not going to go tell you, hey, look, start eating healthy, go for walks every day and all of that. I'm not going to tell you that. But what I am going to tell you is that it works. It does work to just move a little bit. And even if that is just to walk to the letterbox on the first day and maybe even the first week. And then maybe you might start to find you might go a little bit further, and getting out into the sun, getting some fresh air, and being able to breathe, a little bit more deeply. But walking is free. Walking is available to us all. And, you don't have to go super fast, and you can go at your own pace, and you can just walk really, really slowly. That's okay. It's still going to be really beneficial for you. So I do really encourage you to walk a little bit. And if you can, maybe walk a little bit each day. And that's it. Don't worry about the food thing. Don't worry about all of the other things. That's okay. That'll all come later. And it does. It comes later. It does just follow on. But to do those walks, they really are what will be, I believe, to be the best starting point that you could ever do. It's so natural for us to move a little bit and to walk, and walking is particularly natural because it's what we've always done as humans. And sometimes you just need someone to drag you out of bed. Sometimes you actually do need. I remember people coming around to my house, and I pretend not to be home. My friends would come around, and bless them, I am so grateful. I look back now and I know they must have been worried, because I would close myself in my house with the blinds closed, and I would be in bed, and people would be knocking on the door, and I would ignore it, and I wouldn't go to the door. And this could be any time of the day, and if I ever did let somebody in, I'd pretend that I was okay, and I wasn't. I was so not okay. But I really encourage you to just tell someone that you're not as well. If you are feeling really down, talk to someone about it who might get it, and you are welcome to talk to me. I would, gladly be there for you. So feel free to reach out to me, maybe message me and let me know how you're feeling. I'm always there. But allowing someone else to know how you're feeling, and maybe even asking them, can you come for a walk with me? Can you, even if it is for 10-15 minutes, once or twice a week, can we do that? And ask for help. Encouraging you to ask someone, so getting that kind of body double is so good, that who can kind of be there for you and do some of those kind of hard things. Like for me, when someone would give me advice and say, hey, look, you should, maybe reach out to a different doctor, or, try and find someone else who might be able to help you, maybe, in whatever way. Those things feel really hard when you're in a very dark place, to do those things, to make that phone call. So I'm not going to tell you go make the phone call, but what I would say is ask someone else to. Ask someone else to make the phone call. Ask someone else in your life who, you do trust, and ask them if they would help you to get help and get the support, because we all need support. We all need support. Doesn't matter who you are. There is no shame in that. And in actual fact, trying to think that you don't need support is ridiculous, because we all need it. We all need it. We're human. We're designed to be connected to other people. So I'm going to take you for my walk today. I'm going to show you some of the beautiful things that I see along the way. And I am sending so much love to you wherever you are, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through. I want you to know that there is hope, that there is an answer to it, no matter where you are, no matter how dark it is. I have gone on the journey, and it has been a journey. It's been really hard, and it's had highs and it's had lows, and it always will have. And that will never change. But what I want you to know is that there is hope. There is hope. I can promise you that. So maybe just come on this walk with me virtually today, and maybe you'll go on your own little walk. Maybe you might take your camera with you and just kind of take your time and look around you. Maybe even, stop and look at some things, maybe video some things, or take photos of some things that look cool. Make it something really fun and enjoyable, You can stop, you can start. You don't have to just keep on powering on, and you don't have to be, athletic about it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let's go. Let's do this. Sending loads of love. Yeah, so we're about halfway, and you'll see that the mount is right there. It's been awesome to see all of the people out today, walking dogs, and all of the different people from all walks of life. And just when you get a smile, and even giving a smile as well, I find is a real cool thing to do to lift my mood. It's beautiful and sunny here. I know for some people you might not have a beautiful beach like this to walk, but even just walking around the outside of your house, even just walking around the inside of your house, if that's where you start at, encouraging you to start. Or even if you're not ready to do that, maybe just follow along with people that inspire you, and eventually that might rub off on you as well. So yeah, I just want you to know that there is hope, and it is baby steps, and it is a journey, and it's something that if you just do one thing, sometimes trying to do everything, you get all of this advice about all of the things that you can do, and it can be really, really overwhelming. And I feel like, for me anyway, I personally find that really difficult. I always have found it really difficult to say a lot of things that sound so simple, but for me, putting those together, and especially if there's a lot of different pieces to it, I've always found that quite difficult. So, encouraging you to just start with one little thing, a tiny little thing, even if it is to walk to the letterbox and get the mail out of the letterbox, and don't think that it's nothing to do that. It's something really big, and it will lead to something else. It will lead to the next step. So for me, being the most unsporty person in the whole world, honestly, I used to pretend to be sick on cross-country days for school. Stan, if you're one of those people too, now, I've only been recently diagnosed with ADHD, and I know for a lot of women and a lot of girls, ADHD was never seen as something that girls have. And so there's a lot of women now that are finding out that they have ADHD, and they always did. For me, this has been such a huge thing because, all of this time, all of these things like depression and anxiety and different things that I've really struggled with, I now realize was due to the undiagnosed ADHD, and even the depression that I had in my pregnancies, my hormonal kind of fluctuations, and the ups and the downs and the round and rounds. Really, I mean, everyone has ups and downs, right? But when it's really, really affecting your life to a point of absolute overwhelm, burnout, all of these different things, the times where we need to look at it, we need some assistance, we need to look at it. And so I'm super grateful that I actually just listened to a podcast one day and heard some woman talking about ADHD in women, and that actually has changed my life to realize that that is what I have battled with, and discovering that it's quite surprising apparently that it was never picked up in me, because I have kind of the most classical type of ADHD. So the psychiatrist that I saw was really surprised that during my pregnancy even it wasn't actually picked up by a mental health team, because apparently often the classic kind of styles of ADHD in girls are more likely to be picked up. But hey, hey, look, obviously that wasn't the journey, that wasn't the time for me to know, and maybe, you know, there's a reason for that. But you need to trust your own instincts and your own intuition. And if you don't feel good and you feel like something's up, asking someone else, ask another doctor, or ask a friend, or listen to podcasts. I really encourage you to kind of do your own research, because I personally have found that is where I've always gotten my answers from. And so it's really about just doing your own research, finding out for yourself, but also don't do it alone. Because look, with having ADHD, one of the big things for me has actually been, you know, I can know what I should do, but actually doing it is really difficult. So even making a phone call can be incredibly difficult for me, even answering the phone or texting someone back, or, you know, making an appointment for something. And so if you're finding it difficult to do some of those basic things, if you're finding it difficult to help yourself, don't do it by yourself. Reach out to a friend and ask them for what you need. You know, you don't need to tell them everything. Maybe just ask them specifics as to what you need. Ask them if they can bring you or come around at a certain time for a walk together. You know, ask for those specific things. Ask someone to make a phone call for you, or ask them, you know, sit next to you while you make the phone call. You know, times that I've been very productive when I've been quite low has been when else has just sat next to me doing some admin things that were just so, I couldn't have done it if they weren't there with me. I knew what to do. It wasn't that I didn't know what to do. It was that I just couldn't do it without having that support of someone else. So don't battle alone. We're meant to connect. We're meant for connection, and we're humans. So, you know, you're not alone. There is so many other people going through whatever it is you're going through too, and we're really lucky now with technology and with, you know, all of the online things, all of the information. I know that sometimes that can be maybe a negative thing, but I think in many ways it's also a massively positive thing, because we now can find out all of these things. We can find so much information about anything that we need to, and we can also get the support that we need to just from our homes without even leaving the home. So yeah, I'll just carry on with our walk and take you with me, because yeah, I just hope that some of this might have been helpful for you. Take care.